President Putin and I have been discussing various things, and I think it's going very well. We've had some very, very good talks. We're going to have a talk now, and obviously that will continue. But we look forward to a lot of very positive things happening for Russia, for the United States, and for everybody concerned. And it's an honor to be with you. Thank you.
And he spoke about resuming and restoring relations between Russia and the United States.
США и России.
We understand that the way to that would be difficult, taking into account the current state of degradation of relations between the US and Russia.
И отношения с Соединенными Штатами.
But Russia is ready and wants to restore the full-fledged relations with the United States.
Развитие.
And do everything to return the Russian-American relations to the stable and sustainable development track.
Vladimir Putin bear-hugged you, practically endorsed you, said you're an outstanding man, unquestionably talented, and welcoming your call for tighter and deeper relations with Russia. Could Putin's praise signal to voters that you are not taking a tough enough approach toward Russia?
It could, and, you know, the smart people would say that's a great thing. What do we need problems for? Obama and Putin don't get along. What do we need problems for, Howie? I mean, yeah, it was very nice. He said great things. He even called me brilliant. Isn't that nice?
And you said that was an honor, McDonald.
Of course it's an honor.
Russia.
Do another topic, which is the American-Russian alliance, which I believe might actually happen in the near future and will be a game changer for my region of the world, Asia. So yes, I did say this in August of 2016. I got this one comment from The Traveller. I think you're still subscribed, The Traveller, so I hope you see this video. I also left a comment saying that I also made the prediction 5 months prior to this, maybe February 2016, officially recorded that I started to predict this, but I gotta tell you, just between you and me, I made this prediction about America and Russia having to become allies a very, very long time ago. And it's due to the expansion of China. If you understand how countries evolve and how they grow and expand, if you understand how countries as chess pieces on a board, how they maneuver, when you understand the economies of countries, where a country gets its money from, where a country is allied, and when you understand the chess pieces on the board around the world, then you can start to see these things in action. When I made this video talking about this and saying that I was going to explain it in more detail, Obama was the president. Nobody would ever have thought about it. I can't find anything online that far back suggesting that America and Russia would have any sort of goodwill between each other. And the point of me explaining this to you guys now is that I'm starting to see parts of the media and geopolitical strategists starting to come out and openly say that there's a possibility in the future, not necessarily the near future, but if you look at my comment here, I said by 2034. And some of you guys that have subscribed to me, you will start to see a common thread where I start to comment on 2034 being such an important time period in the region of Asia, and not just Asia, but the entire world. Why do I think that Russia and America will have to become allies? We see, when you look at China, the allies of China, they're all kind of poor. China doesn't really, to be honest, and to look at the facts here, China doesn't really treat its allies very well. North Korea is an ally of China. They're strong, staunch allies. North Korean people are starving. The Chinese people use the North Koreans as economic slaves, slave wives, slave labor to an extent. They're really cheap labor for the Chinese. They don't look after the North Korean people, and from the reports of the North Korean defectors, they've said that when they get out and go to China, they're treated really badly. So this is part of the reason, but it's far more complicated, and the economy of China is growing, China is expanding, and Russia is backing this militarily. The thing is, Russia will not and cannot benefit from the expansion of China. China's expansion is not just an economic or military expansion or just a trade expansion. It's an expansion of, they say it's soft power, but it's quite aggressive when you really analyze it. If you look at America's past propaganda, you got to understand the world is viewed through filters, and the filter that America has played out for way too long is it's democracy versus communism, and that is just a way to bring people together against another country. What they do is they need to manipulate the general populace in order to get together, in order to forge forward to look after their own country. So a lot of other countries will use religion as a way to manipulate the local population so that they can conquer or look after, just to make sure they look after their economy. When you look at the way that America talks about democracy versus communism, China is using Asians versus white men. That's their battle. So their battle is purely a race battle. It's us Chinese, but it's not just us Chinese, it's us Asian people versus the white men. And that does not fit well when you're allied with Russia, who the leader of Russia is a white man. In the beginning of this journey, I was so naive to the way the world really worked. China is not using democracy or communism. They're not using political ideology. They're not using religious ideology either. They're using race. That's their platform to build up the people. And when you look through my channel has been poking and prodding people for a very long time, and you look through the comments, there's a lot of racism directed as me, just because I'm a white person living in Asia, Australia. Let's just be honest here. Every people all over the world would just rather peace. But unfortunately, when you have two superpowers coming against each other, millions of people will have to die in Asia, and it's not looking very pretty at the moment. Say, like, even in this comment thread that you guys can see now, you can see people saying communist trash, blah blah blah. These people are stupid people who have been manipulated by propaganda, and this type of propaganda is outdated, because whether America and Russia become allied before 2034 or after, that would be a very big factor in how the world plays out. If they do it afterwards, it will be too late, because China will own the world. China will have military bases in South America, and America will be under, you could say, house arrest, and their economy they won't be allowed to expand anymore. And Russia will be housed up there as well. Maybe Russia will have to move into Europe to try and expand, to build their economy. Now, if you watch this interview on the news,
and I think most of the people in the United States of America and most of the people in Russia want to like each other, you know, and we need each other. Russia and America should be great allies, and that's the way it should be.
Well, I think that's absolutely right. I agree with you.
Now you see that? This is like a star that has gone to Russia. He's on the news. There's a lot of people starting to agree that Russia and America should become allied. Now, there's a few things happening in the modern era that hasn't happened in the past, which is going to work against China in this current expansionism that China's going through, is that we have the internet. And when people talk about things, and we have the media, and we have access, I can talk to someone literally on the other side of the world within an instant. And people are starting to wake up faster than ever before throughout history. And that's part of the reason why you can't get Facebook or YouTube or anything inside China, because they're trying to block it off. They don't want people to know what their expansionist techniques are, but if you understand geopolitics, you can see it happening. You can just see it happening, and although they might make out that it's peaceful and it's soft power, we're not seeing too much soft power. And if you understand how this is happening, it's not looking very pretty for a lot of people. I just wanted to say that I've predicted that. And this is a win for me. This is a win for me. I'll be messaging the traveler and letting him know that Donald Trump starting to talk about Russia and the possibility that Russia, this propaganda that Russia influenced the election. You got to understand, when I made this prediction, there was no way, there was zero chance Donald Trump was going to become president. You got to understand that. And even Hillary Clinton hadn't even got the nomination, and we didn't even know Hillary Clinton was possibly even running at this stage. This is so early on when I made these predictions. I just want you guys to know that people are starting to talk about this, and this isn't coming from the stupid people, the propaganda people, the ones that talk about communism and democracy. This is coming from the people who know how the world really works. So this is my win. Today is a victory for me. As far as I can start to see people starting to talk more about Russian-American alliance, this is a victory for me by proving that my studies and my hard work and the way I'm looking at the way the world and the chess pieces are moving around the world, that I'm able to analyze these things quite accurately, and I'm very happy to be able to say that to you guys today. I am starting to see an evolution in the thinking of people right now, and a long time ago I made that prediction. So this is one of many of my predictions, and for you people that are out there that are actually following me, this small little audience out there that are actually following me and listening to me, this is like what I call an I told you so moment. Keep following me, because I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more of my predictions coming true in the future, and look out for them. So if you like this video, click the subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Don't let fear stop ya.